Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of TB&J Podcast. Across from me, Troy Brittingham.
Boys on Boys.
The TB of TB&J.
And you're the J, which I believe stands for juvenile.
We're not calling this Boys on Boys.
Why are we not calling this Boys on Boys? Oh, wait. D pointing out the implications that
Hi,
I
everybody,
didn't.
I'm D.
And we're doing episode
We'll be right back.
5 of The Boys on Amazon Prime, and this is our theme song.
TB&J!
Oh, that's why you play it every episode.
TB&J!
I just... What was that sound?
I believe that was the D-Meister General.
TB&J!
All right, so we watched the latest episode of The Boys on Amazon Prime, and boy fucking howdy, does this episode not let off the gas pedal at all the whole time. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
D, thumbs up, thumbs down.
This is a thumbs up for me. I like this a lot.
Troy?
It's really good.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I am also a thumbs up. This episode was incredible. How many episodes are in the season? Is it 8?
Yep. I believe it's 8, yeah.
And so we've got
6, 7, and 8.
3 more to go.
That's
Yep, and
right.
6 is
that's how
Herogasm,
you
correct?
do math. That's math. All right.
Next week is
I am
Herogasm,
very
right?
proud of you.
Yeah, next week is the Herogasm episode. That is correct.
Yeah, so we saw the legend in this episode, played by Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser. Yeah. I don't...
Stranger Things and Mad About You fame.
I'm not immediately
You're a
familiar
dumb
with Paul Reiser.
person.
I mean,
Listen, I know him, and I'm not sure why, but
I don't know. I don't honestly know. I am no longer a young person.
but it's probably why.
oh shit, he was Burke in Aliens.
Yep.
Mm.
There you go.
There,
There
that's
you
what I know him from. All right, cool.
Yeah, he's always like
Slimy.
like squirmy, like or seemingly a good guy, but then actually a bad guy. Like, and that's it's just a whole thing. But anyway,
So what you're saying is we should trust him.
Oh, he was in The Spy Who Dumped Me back in 2018.
That's
you guys,
what I know him
You guys
from.
remember that
100%.
classic film with Mila
synonymous
Kunis?
with his name.
Was that?
Synonymous with his name.
Yeah. Mila Kunis and the chick from SNL, Kristen Wiig. Yeah.
Wow.
I got this. No, it's not Kristen Wiig. It's Kate McKinnon.
Oh, no one cares.
No one cares at all. You're right. Season 3, episode 5. Holy fucking shit. So the boys leave Moscow. They're back home because they need to get Kimiko medical attention back in the States. She lives. She's relatively okay. But she doesn't have her powers anymore. Big fucking thing, right? And Dee predicted it last time, and I was like, oh man, wouldn't that be something? Turns out, that's reality. Kimiko lost her fucking powers. She was so happy
And
to
now she
lose
has
her
a beautiful
powers.
singing voice.
Yes! Oh man! I wonder, so I was watching an interview with Jensen Ackles on Seth Meyers, and he said that if you ever tell Eric Kripke what makes you uncomfortable, he writes it into the show as much as he can, just to fuck with you. And I'm wondering if, like, Karen Fukuhara, who plays Kimiko, was like, oh, I'm not a great singer, and I'm glad my character's mute. And Kripke was like, oh, okay. So now you have 2 singing scenes in season 3
Yeah,
so
but I
far.
feel that's like the opposite.
I mean, yeah, it seems like she really enjoys it, but at the same time, like...
But I feel like she's so smiley outside of the role that, like, it feels like
She's such a
much
sweet woman,
more-
yeah.
It feels like more likely that she's trained and all that shit. Although I don't think it's her singing, so, you know.
Yeah. Either way, it was amazing. I loved the entire hospital dance number towards the end of the episode where she's singing that Judy Garland classic, and Frenchie's there with her, and they're just dancing and singing.
I kind of love how gross it is, because also, like, if you look in the background, like when they're banging on stuff,
they're banging
it's
on
like
bedpans
like
full of urine.
bedpans and
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that musical episode of Scrubs.
Yep. It reminded me of Peacemaker, and it's just like all these like choreographed
It was just
numbers
off the
happening
wall
nowadays.
and you know, just did what it wanted. I was fine with that. So this is the, you know, Nina comes and gets him, and the big storyline break, obviously her voice coming back and her kissing him coming out of this daydream or whatever, this moment for her. And I don't know what we read into that, except she kisses him, and he reacts strangely. Now, I think that it's definitely this I think it's a look of confusion. And knowing Frenchie, this is just like he just was so taken off guard, and
he was so overwhelmed.
Things, that he probably wanted or imagined, and is realizing or like processing. He just needs to process like what happened. And basically, what I think is to be processed is that
There's
like
a big
something
French
about this she never would allow herself to like the thing that we're reading. Like, what are they? Like, are they lover? Like, what is their relationship?
Right.
And how does she feel about it? And we were kind of imagining, as we would rightly think, that like, he's not romantic to her. Like, even though we kind of felt like it's like, oh, it's probably just one way. But now it seems that that's not the case, and that she was always keeping it at arm's length because of her abilities.
Yes, her powers, and she said that to Ryan a couple episodes ago. She feels afraid of hurting those around her that she loves because of her powers. So now that she doesn't have them, she has no reason to not accept Frenchie's advances because she clearly likes him. So it is nice to see things finally, like, everything's coming up Kimiko for a change.
And
except,
it's going to continue.
Of course, they all have to die.
Yeah. So my big theory, which I'm still holding to, is that Frenchie dies this season, and he is not back in next season. And Kimiko either leaves the boys or doubles down, like, super dark revenge theme now. Like, we gotta fucking kill everything because the only guy I've ever loved is dead now. But after Kimiko kisses him and he's overwhelmed and confused, he leaves for a cup of coffee, and that's when Lil Nina kidnaps him. Because she told him, you work for me now. And he's like, no, I don't. She's like, fuck you. Yes, you do. Kill this guy and this guy's daughter. And he's like, what? And she's like, bye. And he doesn't do that. He stays in the hospital with Kimiko, watching old Judy Garland movies. And when he goes for a cup of coffee, little Nina finds him again, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta pay the fucking piper." So either and fucking Butcher, Huey, and MM have their heads so far up their ass with the Soldier Boy shit that they don't even have Frenchie on their radar right now. They're probably not going to save him. So he's probably literally on his own unless Kimiko goes looking for him. And what's she going to do without powers? She can't fight little Nina on her own. So Frenchie's fucked. Frenchie is thoroughly fucked. Unless, like, Starlight's walking down the street and just glances in the storefront of this Russian deli and sees Frenchie tied up, and she's like, wait, I think I know that French scumbag.
What's that going on over there?
Yeah.
Is that Butcher and Maeve fucking? Yeah.
Butcher and Maeve fucking. Yeah.
Look at that.
So, to go to the boys on another tangent, they get back from overseas, and Butcher's out of temporary V. So, of course, he hits up Maeve, and they share a bottle of vodka while bitching about how all soups need to be destroyed, and they're all scum. And Maeve is like, yeah, you right, and then just kisses him.
Weird reaction. I imagine there's no meaning to her.
Absolutely. She's definitely not suicidal or self-destructive.
No. She's ready to save the day.
Absolutely.
She's doing fine in this.
She's brave Maeve, and girls get it done.
Man, she is brave Maeve. She goes right up to Homelander's voice, and she's just like, I pitied you. Which does get her jumped by
Black Noir,
who also has a vendetta.
Why does Black Noir... I guess it's revenge for the Almond Joy thing, but like, it doesn't make sense that Black Noir would be so on board with Homelander as his fucking lapdog. Unless they're just like actually friends or something. Maybe he has one friend in the world.
Black Noir is just,
he's just Black Noir.
He's team player, man. He's team boss.
He's just up for it.
He's just
he's a team player. He's the team player the Deep is looking for.
He does what Vought needs him to do now, ever since he didn't do that the one time.
Yeah, I guess so. After Maeve hooks up with Butcher, she's back in the tower, and Homelander confronts her about how she's been plotting against him. He knows that, and he smells Butcher all over her, which, gross. But also, damn, his nose is really strong, I guess. And then she's like, you know what? I always hated you, and I actually pitied you all this time. I faked every bit of it when we were fake together. And
this is some solid acting by both parts, but as usual,
Don McElliot is fucking amazing as Maeve, and she doesn't get enough screen time at all, in my opinion.
She's been great. She looks, oh my gosh, does she look so amazing as a normal person?
Yeah,
like, in comparison to Maeve, like it's crazy, right? Like how
they're supposed to like the term that they use in Hollywood is like ugly them up to make them look more like normal people. Yeah, and when she's in her street clothes, she's still fucking stunning.
It's not even that. It's just I feel like she honestly looks better without like the
Wonder Woman get up.
Yeah, she's just so awesome. Anyway, she's mad suicide, but when the Homelander actor is
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr. And as always, he kills it. But he's so...
You know he's 47?
Yeah. He's so...
Oh, my God.
Damn...
I hope I look that good around that age.
Vulnerable in this moment. Like, he really is like asking
yeah.
Maeve what like, if she ever liked any bit of him.
Yeah. Was
like,
any of it real, he said.
Is any of it real? Like, he really is just so dumb. And, like, this is the main... Like, I mean, the Trump stuff in this was, like...
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I mean, between that and the deep... Oh, my gosh. It's Jared Kushner and whatever the daughter's name is.
Ivanka.
Like, holy crap. Like, they went down the list of things.
They're talking about storm chasers, which is just QAnon, essentially.
Storm chasers who gather on the forum 4chan.
I don't know what they are, but like, and of course, he says... You know,
that, like,
are we at risk? So they even go all the way to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Are we at risk? Oh, there's no worry. There's no reason for a curfew.
Go out to dinner.
theaters.
Go to movie theaters.
It's just like literally every on the nose, like the same thing. It's amazing how much the storylines line up. Like, it's just insane. It's just insane.
Have you heard that once again people are review bombing it and be like, I can't believe the show got political.
Yeah,
it is happening.
It's just they. Oh, and the dad, MM's stepdad.
Guy. Janine's stepdad, MM's ex's husband.
Man.
He's like got Homelander playing, and he's got so many Homelander branded things around the house now, just like how the fucking Trump people buy every piece of merch he's ever released.
But I mean, like and it's so brilliant because everything seems. Like, absolutely, kids have Superman stuff, all over the stuff. And this is the exaggeration, because, like, you're mixing two separate things, but, like, legitly, like, being transposed here for the satire. And it's just like, okay, so you are bearing it, like, I mean, and that's where the analogy fails a little bit, because you're like, okay, if you had, like, and don't get me wrong, there are people with the Trump stuff and like that, like all that, and clearly, like, January just watch the tapes, or like, but that isn't like that isn't this guy, like this guy, not because he says, like, what, she loves Homelander and all the superhero stuff. Like, of course you would be getting, like,
he saves thousands of people,
and he just like, that's why you have all that stuff. It's not like it's the equivalent to, like, owning a bunch of Trump figures and like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a little bit like, that's the exaggeration. So that's like an easy thing for the other side of the point of view, and like his stuff. Like, let me share your stuff on Facebook. And
a better example is like, oh, she has a bunch of comic books of, like, the Punisher, and he has a bunch of memorabilia of, like, the Punisher.
Yeah.
Like
it is eerily similar. Jordan Klepper works for Trevor Noah, and he did this whole bit where he was following around Trump rallies around the country. It's called Jordan Klepper Fingers the Pulse, and he was at this one Trump rally, and there was a massive 20-foot flag of Trump's head transposed onto, like, fucking what's that character?
Homelander.
No, Rocky Balboa's actor was
Sylvester Stallone?
Stallone's character, but with the gun. What's his name?
Rambo.
Thank you.
Wow, that
Trump's
was a
head
long...
on Rambo, and it was on, like, in a
truck.
Don't tread on me flag.
This.
Yeah, and Jordan Klepper, like, stepped on it. He was like, "Don't step on the American flag, man. It's disrespectful." And he's like, "That's not an American flag. That is Rambo Trump on a don't tread on me flag." And he was like, "It's the American flag, man. It's got the stars and stripes." And he was like, "That is not an American flag." And it just reminded me of all that bullshit. But yeah, the fucking the Homelander stuff is like fucking chef's kiss.
You
love watching it.
You know, like, what actually is on the books about breaking the law with the flag? Like, you're not actually supposed to use the flag's likeness in anything.
Yep.
Like, that's the thing, is, like, we put it on shorts, like shirts, like post, like, whatever. It's on everything. And the only rule beyond like burning it would be fine as a like, but like literally the only thing they say not to do with it is, like, use it for another means
exactly
than a flag.
It's like how one of the fucking commandments is, like, don't make engraved images of Jesus or something like that. You're not supposed to make images of
idols.
Jesus. No. It's do not make.
Actually, yeah, that's a horrible comparison. That means, like, I feel like you should be able to do that. So.
Yeah, you're not supposed to make, like, copies. But I mean,
it is just the retort to, like, flag burning. It was like, it was just like, well, what the fuck are you doing? Like it's like saying one thing's bad but not another, and that's the issue. Is like, no, honestly, do whatever the fuck you want to the flags.
Yeah, exactly. Like fucking, it's a flag. Who cares?
Like they're made in China anyway.
Yeah, for real. So the Homelander, so Black Noir, just like I don't know what exactly
Great scene
happened
by
with
him.
Maeve.
Great him. He always nails it. You know?
Yeah.
He's always fucking killing.
He's always great, right? Not a lot required. You just gotta stand there and look menacing, and he does it pretty well.
I love his speeches.
He either like grabs Maeve or attacks her or something. It's unclear, but the camera goes black, and then we see Starlight storming into Ashley's office.
Maeve is like going all in right here, right? Like, I don't know how. I mean, I don't know if it's just pheromones that keeps him on him or what, but she's not backing down. She's going right up to his face, hoping that he lasers her. This just does it, like
or something, yeah.
You know, and that's not what happens.
She's clearly lost like the will to live.
Yeah, she just wants
she's
to
done.
go down. She's done.
Yeah.
She's only training so that she can do something. Now, I don't know what I can't tell is whether or not she knew, like, if she fucked him so that he would know, or is this a mistake? Like, because it seems like weird. I think it's a mistake.
It feels like a mistake,
but so because like she doesn't have a play in this moment, right?
No, she seems like she's kind of winging
and
it.
She clearly seems like she's been training to do something that actually matters. Is my take. So like I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't think she planned this,
right?
But it does seem fishy that like that's the reveal, and that's like clearly she just wants to fucking hurt him too. So like
yeah. I mean,
that tracks too.
She's kind of just like spiraling out of control almost,
Maybe,
where she just like doesn't care anymore. Like the reason she met up with Butcher was because she just gave him a bunch more temp V.
Well,
like it was very indiscriminate. Just like, here you go. Here's just a pile of it.
There's also the fact that like when the two of them actually met up, Butcher and Maeve, what they were like, they were trying to be like, hey, what's the plan? And they're just like, I don't know. Like that was kind of the last thing we had was the weapon.
And the weapon doesn't exist because Soldier Boy's still around.
And then at this point, she just might just be like, "Fuck it." Like,
yeah, we're all fucked anyway.
I'm just gonna tell him off. Like, because she's also like she's like the second most powerful. She's supposed to be the second most powerful on the team, at least, right? I
don't know. She's certainly like second in command kind of thing. She's certainly high ranking. I don't know where she is on like the power scale.
Yeah, I mean it's. Yeah,
she's certainly higher than like Starlight.
Yeah, and she's certain. There's certainly her brand is on because they're. I mean, like it's obviously a lower tiered satire because it has to be because it's just not as crazy. But like, yeah, all the Queen Maeve, Brave Maeve, you know, LGMT, like whatever, all the woke like branding is just as cynical of VOD, and it's the same thing that, you know, if you want to get political, like they're clearly making fun of all of that too.
Yeah.
And but I mean, Ashley this season, like, and this scene, this is great. I really enjoy her character this season, and just the sycophantic, like, and it's this mixture of, like, you know, she reveals that, like, she's just terrified, and like you've known that from the beginning that she's ripping her hair out, like just trying to survive. She says it here. She's like, I don't have powers, and then she just like feared, and probably rightly, because he can hear shit.
Yeah,
like she's just like, get the fuck out of here. I'm CEO. Don't make it a point. Like and Starlight gets it, but like, yeah, come on, man. Like that. This is another thing of like highlighting to the Huey situation where it's like.
Dude, let's give Ashley some V.
Dude, that'd be funny.
What the fuck would her powers be?
She'd get it. She'd grow a dick, I think. I think she would grow a dick. I'm not wrong there, right? She already had the dildo. It's an extension of yourself. This might happen, actually. This is like what they said.
Hold on, let me write this down.
This is what he said V was. Like, it's just
it makes you more you.
Yeah.
It just amplifies what you already are.
So, yeah. Is that mean? I don't think that's mean. I think that's like.
No, I think you're good.
I think it's the boys' thing to do, definitely, too. That'd be awesome.
Dude, wouldn't it be awesome?
It's just...
She has, like, unlimited stamina and just, like, can cum buckets. Paint a whole room.
And Homelander just it's just milk for him. Like,
oh, yes!
I do have something I need to do, I think, out of
are
this,
you sure?
outside
But
of this
we
room.
get the rest of the podcast to do. You could stay.
Yeah, no, I'll be back. I'm just going to run to the bathroom and continue.
So a lot of shit's going on with Maeve and the people at Vought. I think one of my favorite parts of this whole episode was in the beginning. Homelander has like a meeting with the board of directors where Ashley officially becomes CEO, and he's sitting down with them all. And one of them says something like, "What are you going to do about the Ebetine margins? How are we going to address this with our shareholders?" And he clearly doesn't even know what she just said, but he calls her out on it, and it was like, "Are you doubting me?" And she's like, "Well, no, of course not." And that's when you realize everyone in that room is pissing themselves that he's going to laser them in half. Like, they're not... He is the CEO, no matter what Ashley's title actually is. They all bend to his will, which is fine, but he doesn't know the first fucking thing about running a business, and they all know that, and I think they know Vaught's kind of fucked. Like, as a company, they're not gonna... He'll do fine riding this like weird Trump train kind of thing he's made for himself. But as far as like,
referencing?
What's that?
Oh, is that what they're referencing?
But as far as like actually running the numbers of a business, he has no fucking clue what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's listening to the show would probably understand like the references they're making. But like, so you don't have to explain it. But like, I mean. So obviously the satire is working on this. That this is just a recreation of that. I don't know what it does because obviously there's this just big QAnon group or Trump supporter group that likes the boys
Storm Chasers.
Still, no, that likes
the boys.
And I'm talking about the real world, like that that are like
you're right.
Big supporters, and it's just like what are. Do they just get more pissed? Like, do they?
No. So here's the thing, because I know a guy,
and I heard that like sometimes they just assume they either assume it's like the other way.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. They assume that all the satire against the right is actually satire against the left.
Interesting.
And that's how and they're like, oh, look at this, they're making fun of those lefty liberals. How fucking funny is this? And they don't even see any irony. They don't see any self-reflection. Yeah. They just completely project it to the other side.
It was. Yeah, it's either that or they. Yeah, it's just so.
It's bizarre.
It's not so bizarre as it is like. I don't think people have. I don't even understand what a complex plot is.
You don't think so?
Like they hear like a basic like fallacy of that just like things are just. Make sense because it's too good to be true to make sense. Like, well, obviously, so clear. Like that says it. So they don't understand like how real complexity works, like how different parts work at happenstance. There's a little bit of mixture. Like here, you run like they don't. I don't think those people generally do stocks, for instance. Like the people that we're referring to in this,
like Wall Street.
Yeah, like they don't. I don't think they understand, like, because I think to do that stuff, you have to understand a ton of human emotions. Doesn't mean you have to have empathy with them, because usually those are sociopaths, but they still understand the complexity of the plot. So you have that, like, it seems like that's generally the two groups you get. You get a complete lack of complex thought, and you get like absolutely like amoral like. Jesus, you just want to take advantage of that. The lefty side of things is just bleeding hearts, which is what the ultimate like thing that like don't that and this is the central conceit of the boys is why I'm mentioning this is that like they that
I was wondering
want to play nice. That like they're only good if they play nice. But they can't win anything unless they play bad. But then they also become the so this is the constant thing of good and evil that is much more grounded in the sense for this show that like it's what it comes down to is the existence of certain things. I think is what they're really getting to is and I'm imagining because of the strong connection to Vought itself that it's literally corporation. It's corporation that is like the thing that is, I think, the central issue to this
right
show is that like that's what is the problem. The
Yes.
problem that like these superhuman things shouldn't exist, and you can fight them with other organizations or like groups like all you can do is get these things to battle them, but like that's all they really would be there for.
Yeah, it's
battle them.
It's the saying of like kill the fly by releasing spiders into your home sort of situation where it's like you still have a bug infested.
Yeah, like and that's the thing is like there's not like I guess eradicate them, but then you're just going to be left with the pieces. And it's true when you leave that void,
something fills it.
It's going to be filled with something else that's going to be inept, very, very likely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's the thing is like people want to fight it, they want to do this, but Butcher's the only one who's just like no, like they just there's no living, like they can't exist, like it can't exist. You have to change so like either just eradicate them all or die it out like that.
It reminds me, as much as you might hate this, Troy, of the Batman vs. Superman movie, where Batman's logic behind attacking Superman is we are alive because he allows us to be, and I don't feel like we should let him have that power, so I have to kill Superman.
I don't hate that much. I don't hate Batman vs. Superman.
No, but like that's what it feels like. It feels like we are alive because he says we can be.
That was the movie about the eccentric billionaire who wants to kill an immigrant. Is it?
That's what it is?
Yep. That is the moral of the story. Zack Snyder really beat us over the head with that one. Anyway, so there's a hell of a lot of stuff to unpack with all of that.
Not really. There's also the Blue Hawk stuff.
Yes, I was about to say.
Which was also the other another Trump. Like just all this stuff was just so pulled from it. Like everything. Like how. Because they weren't mincing words. When we were saying like they're on the nose, they're literally saying things that
they're
only
literally taking
applied.
like words from speeches almost. It feels like
that only applied to it. I mean, Blue Hawk's entire thing is just like what did he say?
He said so. A-Train was like you're over policing black neighborhoods, and he was like I go where the crime is.
Matter.
I can't help it that the crime happens to be in black neighborhoods. And then they say Black Lives Matter, and he totes back all lives matter.
Research.
Yeah,
and then he says "Soup Lives Matter," which is like the
White Lives Matter people
line.
And the Blue Lives Matter. Yep. Oh God, blue and soup even sound enough alike. Oh God, I wonder if they're gonna get like a stupid American flag with a blue stripe for the soups. Oh yeah,
it'll be a Homelander flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh God, it would be.
Which
wouldn't
is
it?
just the American flag.
It's different.
I mean,
sorry.
But yeah, it's
the fuck out of here. You're making a fool of yourself.
I'm sorry.
And then he's like throws a couple of the black people around from the community center, and one of them is Nate, A-Train's brother. And then A-Train's at the hospital later, and they're saying like he's got several fractured vertebrae. He will never walk again. And I'm just like,
and on the news it says that Blue Hawk
he was defending himself,
standing up against Antifa.
So,
yeah.
So I mean, we were real close to a bunch of stuff happening because like
we're hopping around.
It feels like
plots.
No, it's fine. I'm fine with that. It seemed like Maeve could have eaten it. It seems like A-Train's ready to. I don't know what he's gonna do, but whatever he's gonna do, it's gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like however it works, he's gonna do. I think it's gonna be the slightest of slights ever, but he's just gonna do a whole nothing burger to
exactly because Starlight confronts him about his betrayal of them to Homelander because it got Supersonic killed, and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about, and she calls him out. She's like, you fucking coward, why are you trying so hard to be with these people who fucking hate you? And he has nothing to say to that. No. So like I don't know what, and now he tried to do good by making Blue Hawk apologize, but that just turned into a huge disaster.
He's just as much an idiot as Deep almost.
Exactly. So I don't even know where A-Train's plot goes from here, unless he just spirals into a self-destructive depression like Maeve, or
Unreal.
He tries it once again to make things right, and it blows up in his face even more spectacularly. Like I just can't with A-Train is so fucking stupid, man. Mm-hmm. And then the Deep. Oh God, the Deep got put in charge of criminal research,
like
criminal analytics.
And I think the woman that Starlight, I think, is talking to you later, is the same person who Black Noir used to like
Yes.
find Butcher. He just brought the thing, like the piece of paper that said Butcher on it in like crayon.
Yep.
She's like, is that her? She's the only one left
Same
in the
lady.
department.
It's her and like one other guy.
And
I think.
the depressing, like, oh, I guess they, after 19 years, they went with someone and with no experience. Like, and it's the Deep. He's just like, ah.
Yep.
And it's just like, that's exactly Jared Kushner and
Jared Kushner got put in charge of like peace talks in the Middle East.
Isn't Ivanka the wife? Who's the
Ivanka is Trump's daughter. Jared Kushner's her husband.
Who's the wife?
Melania.
Okay. Wow.
There you go. There's your Trump
I'm
knowledge.
glad I forgot things about them. That's great.
Yeah, Jared Kushner's his son-in-law who
Happy
got
to
put in charge of a
have-
lot of
happy at
things he
place.
shouldn't have been.
That makes me feel good to have forgotten their names.
Yes, please do forget all of them. But then,
Damn
so
you, Kripke, for making me remember.
that's most of the plot lines, except for the really big one with the boys and Starlight and Soldier Boy. So Huey goes back.
But
to...
first, these messages.
We'll be right back.
That'd be a good
All
place.
right, those
to...
were great messages.
We have ads. Awesome! I didn't know we were getting
maybe
paid.
we'll cut them in later.
Yeah. Dollar
know,
Shave Club and My
Put
Pillow.
your ads right here.
No,
folks.
we will never sell My Pillow. I take it back. It was just the first shitty thing I could think of.
I will not.
I'll
my
sell.
pillow.
I'll sell my pillow.
Like
I
your
have a-
personal.
Yeah, I
pillow.
have a pillow.
I got a bamboo pillow on my bed.
What was the Mike Lindell stand-in that the boys have in all the like YouTube videos or whatever?
Oh God, I don't remember.
They have like a 1-to-1 stand-in for him. I forget who it was.
I know. I can see his face. I don't know who you're talking about though.
Yeah.
So Huey goes back to his apartment, invites Starlight over, and he is trying to butter her up. He's got all her favorite candy. He's got White Claws, and then he unveils that Soldier Boy is alive. There was no weapon to kill Homelander. Also, I took V and I can teleport.
So yeah. So I storytelling wise, the whole arm thing is fine. Except it's not, because all it made me think of was, why did you fucking break your arm? Just put a cast on.
I mean,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand. I was like, just put a cast on. Like,
yeah.
and now,
Yeah. And then he got super, and he got healing powers, and
even
lost
if
the cast.
Even if he still had to do it before, he can put a cast on now.
He could. He just didn't think to because Huey's fucking stupid.
But that was exactly all I thought. I was like, oh, we should just put a cast on. And I was like, wait a minute, he should just put a cast on. Like, why did he break it?
Exactly.
And then the answer is just because it's the boys and they wanted that scene, and
They just wanted Kimiko to break Huey's arm.
and that's the thing, is like,
She was ready to do it too.
and then the cast works as a signifier of his thing, because you actually do need that reveal with Starlight. I feel like it's a dumb play in hindsight, where you're just like, oh, you could have put a cat, you could have just had a cast, like, or whatever.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
it's just,
And then he runs into somebody
better on screen in the moment than actual.
Then you think about it.
And then in this episode, he runs into somebody from the bureau while he's at the crime scene from Soldier Boy blowing up a house on 57th.
Oh fuck! Wait though, Huey has to get credit for fucking dynamite dialogue. What the hell does he say? Is it when she asked him how the V was or something like that? He's like, oh, it was horrible.
Oh, it was so bad. I mean, I hated it. I hated every second
But
of
like, no, doesn't he say there was a line we were all dying at? Do you don't recall it?
I don't remember here.
No.
I do remember one of the lines that we were laughing at was when the legend tries to give him cocaine, and he said,
No, I'm full of cocaine.
cocaine.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that was funny, but
That's not what you're
he
thinking
had
about.
something else. He's on the phone or something like it. That is all horrible. Or he said something along that line. It was so fucking. I don't know why, but that tickled me. He had like, Huey always teeters on the edge of being that character that I usually hate.
He's not
hate,
annoying
not
enough.
hate. Like, not hate. I usually will like come to hate him. Like, they serve their purpose at the beginning, and then I'm just like, why are you here? This is dumb. Like, oh, of course they say that. Of course you did that. Like,
Yeah, they're there because the fans like that character from before, not because they're important.
And he continues, I think, to be an endearing Huey. And like, makes sense of the storylines about, like, and that's the thing, like, because he's exactly the character that is a centerpiece to the boys comic too, but
Right.
like, but is also the person that I felt like in the comic maybe made some more sense, but just because it was the comic, I feel like
maybe
because I didn't need to know about his like personal life and stuff like and what he literally did at that point. I just he's with the boys now or whatever. Like
he also serves, I think, just as the lens for us because he's the most relatable character.
That's the thing, but like they don't care about the mechanics in the comics. Like so you don't really have to worry about that. In this show, like I said, is a better version of the book, and it's it grounds it. And that's that's what I think his character should be kind of ridiculous in this world, but I think it's Jack Quaid. Is that it?
Yeah, Jack Quaid's the actor.
That really just brings another element to him. That
he's so good.
His deliveries are just rock, like chef's kiss. Like they are. He tickles me. Like I mean, and if by all accounts, I should just like hate him or like not want him to be banging Starlight or something. I don't know. Like he's just endearing. Like and you see why, and he plays that character really well. I just wanted to give him some props because I feel like we rarely talk about Huey, and I just like this episode. I was like, fucking, he still got it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So Huey and Butcher and MM go to investigate the Soldier Boy explosion, and MM's like, oh, he's off to see the legend, and Butcher's like, yeah, you right, and Huey's like, who's the legend? And then they go see this guy, and he's basically the Stan Lee of Vought, where he created a lot of superhero backstories. He was the VP of superhero relations before Stillwell, so he was the one before she got that job. I wonder if he also had to fuck Homelander and give him milk. That would have been a really weird job.
Probably.
But the legend is also very, very pivotally. He's the one who covered up all of the soup's mishaps for years. And specifically, he covered up what happened to MM's family and Soldier Boy killing them. So he's like, all right, fine. Soldier
I remember
Boy.
the line.
What was the line?
I'm just like Dom Toretto.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm all about family, and I'm
really
fast, and I'm all
about family. I'm really fast, and I'm all about family. That's what it was.
That was what that. Even if I think that was the line, and even saying it now, I'm like, it shouldn't be funny, but it just is.
It's so funny.
It just works so well, and it's. He was said about the slowness of delivery. It's
really fast and all about family.
He's like thinking about it as he's saying it.
Yep.
So good.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the legend points them towards Crimson Countess. He's like, Soldier Boy was here, took his suit back, asked for Countess's address, gave it to him, and it sounds like he's going to kill her, but, bye. So the boys head off to go see Crimson Countess, but not before Butcher and Huey shoot up some temporary V. And MM has this great speech where he's just like, if we don't draw the line somewhere, then what do we stand for?
And he was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, and it's like, did you not listen to a single fucking thing I said?
If we have to, it's the only way. You got to.
Yeah, it's going to suck, but I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. Meanwhile, super excited to shoot up some V.
And this is the thing, is when Huey's not wrong in, I guess, the sense of like what he's doing, but logistically, like, because he can sell it, right? And that's what they do in this pattern, because he's trying to say, like, no lies, I took it, okay, I did it, because, and this is where I like the character, where it's just like, okay, they're not going to play this out like he's going to try to hide, like, it's just like, no, she'll find out that he did it.
Absolutely,
that was only because that was always part of the plan. Probably, like, to say that, we had to do it, so I could do it. So he's trying to save her. It's when she says, "Don't go with them, like, stay here with me."
Yeah, Starlight shows up
after he just said, "You and me against the world," like that. Then that's where it's like, you don't, like, fuck that. Like, you're staring at her and you're with Butcher. Like, there's no way Butcher has that much hold over it in you. That's your Starlight vagina. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no. I'm not even saying, like. Just if he feels for her any half as much as I feel for my wife, like, there's just no way. You're not gonna. Okay. Like, there's no way he goes. Like, maybe it's the juice, but.
It could be,
know?
but it's
I
also he feels like this is the only way that he can stop Homelander, and Annie is in danger as long as Homelander lives. So from his, I can kind of see it from his perspective in that I need to kill Homelander, or my girlfriend will never be safe. Her life will constantly be in danger. So I need to do this. Or
so the response then is, I don't need you to save me, which is okay. That phrasing is rarely used in this context, right?
yes,
So most of the time when somebody says, I don't need you to save me, right? It's a veil. It's a way to kind of be like, I don't need you to like take care of me. I'm my own person, like playing up to like female stereotype. Like, okay, fine. That's weird. That's used, but this isn't a 1-to-1 on that either.
Nope.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's literally death. He will die if he does this. He wants to fight it. Like, you got to have more of a conversation with this just because you have powers, like you are in this situation. I think it's a good complexity, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe because it's temporary that they're doing this now. I'm either in or I'm out. So fine. And he's banking on the relationship. I mean, fine, but
sure. Now, here's a theory. What are the odds Kamiko uses Temp V and joins the boys back up after Frenchie dies?
oof. It could be, and my thought would be like if a soup takes Temp V, they'll probably get their powers back
become
forever.
superhero
It'll just
again.
reignite him or something,
Yeah.
or it'll kill him. Well, I don't know, whatever.
Who knows?
What if she
that's
gets
a
something
guess.
else?
She could be something else, yeah. Just become like the Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four or some shit. Who knows? Because her powers are pretty much just like, I'm strong, fast, and I heal. Which is kind of like just like the bare bones of superpowers.
In the comics, I mean, I guess it's a similar introduction to her. Like, she's already part of the boys when you meet him, and like basically all they show is like the lights go out and then they turn back on and everybody's dead, like ripped apart, dismembered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it doesn't. You don't even see any of the action, but like it does give the same impression of her introduction, right?
Right.
But the impression was much more of like an absolute slaughtering, and I guess they weren't soups, so it's different. But it definitely gave the impression that she was like an ultimate weapon as opposed to, just another soup.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I guess she's not that powerful in the end. But
yeah,
she can't get hurt.
I mean, she was getting tossed around by Stormfront.
Yeah.
And I mean, they all individually were, except
she
Maeve.
seems like as durable /
I think she's on par with Starlight.
She kind of got all the durability and none of the flair.
Pretty much, yeah. She has like no like crazy supernatural powers, but she'll like punch through a wall.
The healing is pretty intense.
Yeah, the healing is great until it's not.
And
but that's the reason she's
assuming,
durable,
and it's assuming that like Black Noir is the same power set essentially.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as Black Noir, basically, except maybe like
strong.
amped up to 11.
Yeah, I mean,
because
he seems to be. Yeah, wasn't he unfazed by the blast?
Yeah, there was that nuclear blast from that supervillain, and he was like burned up a bit, but he didn't flinch, and he cut the dude's head off.
And he definitely healed after that.
Yes.
So that seems to be like maybe they added to his power set and it amped him up twice.
Who knows?
I mean,
that would be a good explanation into how they like maybe when he's in that bomb or whatever powers he did have, don't work. Maybe they use a concoction.
They juiced him up more to be like
of V, right? Which early compound of Temp V, and it just gave he wanted to heal, so he healed enough or whatever, and then that and it doubled his strength or something like that. Because that seems like, yeah, okay, two Starlights or is a Homelander.
Right,
and that seems like about where he is.
But it also kind of makes sense because she's kind of the Wolverine sort of stand-in,
right?
And then he's more of the Deadpool kind of stand-in, so it kind of makes sense that they have very, very similar sort of stuff.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm so fucking curious to see where all of this goes, because we were talking about this with the Obi-Wan episode earlier today, but this just seems like lighting the fuse on this crazy powerful bomb, and I can't wait to see it go off in like 3 episodes time.
I have a question just based
because we got a break next week with Hero-gasm. I don't know if any like big plot things are going to happen with Hero-gasm, or if it's just one giant orgy like the comics were.
What do you mean?
Episode 6 was confirmed to be Herogasm, so that's next week.
I think it's just gonna be called Herogasm.
Oh, for sure. But I can dream. And my dream is that it's just an hour-long orgy of superheroes.
I think it's
and we pick back up with our regularly scheduled programming.
I saw one leaked image.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I did not.
Oh my gosh. Let's just say, I think Timothy had a brother.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Deep is so fucking weird.
He's going to get real deep.
Oh, dear. I'm also...
I think it's an older brother.
Oh, God. Oh, big boy. I'm also excited. That's why the sound Deep made. I'm excited because again, I was listening to Jensen Ackles. Jensen Ackles was doing press, and he said that one of the weirdest things about this new job he has is that he got an email about all the different sexual positions that they wanted to put him in, and he vetoed a couple of them. And Kripke came back, and he was like, "Okay, but like for real?" And he was like, "Yes, for real. I'm not doing that." And Seth Meyers was like, "Oh, and what was that?" And he was like, "You'd like me to tell you that, wouldn't you?" But I'm so Soldier Boy's in Herogasm, right? Like he has to be.
What did he not do?
I know. I'm so curious. He said he vetoed 2 of them real hard, and I was like, okay, but like, what did you veto there, pal? I gotta know. God, I want to know. I'm hoping after the season wraps and it's no longer a spoiler, Ackles will be like, yeah, it was this and this.
Speaking of him, we need to talk about his
I don't think he will.
mirror Captain America out of the ice scene too, where he's
neat. So I'm a little confused. Because we saw him in Nicaragua.
He was in Russia.
No, in the 80s.
Oh, they were in Nicaragua. Yeah.
Okay. In the 80s, right? So his flashback, his World War II is Nicaragua, right? So he's only from the 80s, right? He's not like a 40s guy coming in.
Well, he'd been around for a while before that point.
That's my question, is like, he's not from the 40s. He's not from World War II, right? Or I felt like that was the implication.
I believe so, because he was already in his.
Did he do did he do like a freeze and ice and then this is the second one? Like I don't.
Because they say Soldier Boy, because the legend says that Soldier Boy was doing movies with these girls that were 19 and he was 63 because he was aging a lot differently.
Right.
Let me see if I can find
so
you.
He was definitely older.
Yeah.
That's just So I think we called that as this is all going to mix together with the Crimson Countess storyline.
Soldier Boy was absolutely active during World War II.
So he's just the old Homelander, and the storyline they're doing now is like he's obviously been brutally tortured. They shot like in his mouth. They shot like machine guns in his mouth and like just like I mean it's a brutal.
And they pumped him full of radiation.
Yeah, just like he's just a mess. Like, and apparently he loved her, or like he, but it's just like the Homelander stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it's just a motivator. But
it's a very clear, almost 1-to-1 recreation of the Homelander and Maeve scene from before.
Right.
Except he didn't. Except I think it came off that he genuinely kind of loved her more than Homelander is capable of loving people.
I think more to the end of like he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah,
and he was a horrible person, and he used it as any soldier in the times would do. He'd be like, I thought about my lady when I was,
Yeah.
But superhumanly so.
So apparently he was just a Captain America, like 1 for 1. He was just really strong and really fast, and he aged really slowly. But then after the Russian shit, he's got that nuclear blast that also takes away powers, which arguably hell of a fucking awesome thing.
Yeah, but I don't. But I think he was damn. Like hard and fast,
damn hard and fast. He was taking bullets and they weren't phasing him.
Yeah, like that was he was Homelander.
Crazy.
He was Homelander.
Homelander levels of durable and strong, but not like flying and lasers.
Yeah, no flying and lasers. That's the only.
That's Homelander.
That's the big. Those two, man.
Flying and lasers really puts Homelander like miles above everything.
Yeah, literally.
Like and you don't realize like how valuable those lasers are. Like I read a lot of Batman comics, and whenever Superman's there, the lasers are like brought up but never used. You don't realize how devastating it is to just have eyeball lasers that can just burn and slice,
especially that have like no reasonable sense of source of power or how they function. Like
why do they seemingly just laser forever?
Yeah, right. Like why? When does the laser stop? Like.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because like real lasers, I guess dissipate, but like
Yes.
they have to be set. And I don't know like if he shoots one, does it just keep? How far does it keep going? There's no way something that's strong.
It's like shooting a
that
missile in
shoots
space.
through,
It just keeps going forever.
Yeah, like something that burns through metal, like as it goes by, isn't going to stop anytime soon. It's not stopping at the Earth.
Maybe
Or,
that's
like,
a plot point for the next episode or next
well, it
season.
just seems like there'd be already a lot more dead. Just like
Butcher gets like
you'd
a
be sitting
suit
there in
of armor.
Australia and you know a
would
blast
come
on the
through
other
the
side of the
ground,
world
yeah.
would just be like it'd just kill you. But I mean, I guess it'd have to go through the core.
Yeah, and it seems like it takes time for the laser to work its way through things,
Yeah.
and he usually cuts it off before it goes completely through stuff. It's just like instantaneous.
It's pretty,
But it would.
though. And yeah, but yeah, his powers. But now he has this, get rid of your powers. Power.
Yep. Which also annihilates everything around him.
Yeah, which is like absolute evisceration when he blew up.
And he has that conversation with with Countess, which is pretty much mirroring the conversation that Homelander had with Maeve earlier, where he was like, I loved you, I kept waiting for you to save me, and she was like, I hated you, we all hated you, we always did, and then that's when he goes berserk and just blows up and kills her.
Yeah.
And that was like horrifyingly similar to what Maeve said to Homelander.
Not as horrifying as watching Seth Rogen's O-face, but
Yeah.
Seth Rogen had his cameo as was it Cum Lover or something?
It was some sort of some cum-based username.
Yeah.
It was,
And he was on this chat line with
was-
Crimson
it was-
Countess, paying $19.50 a
it was
minute.
poetic.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Very, very high end.
And
stuff.
Crimson
Higher
Countess had these like 2-inch diameter Benoit balls that she had to
Yeah, I
anal
don't know
beads maybe.
where those were going. I thought she was going to do some of their powers, but they just cut it off. But like, those were large and in charge.
Those were large anal beads, and they were fucking metal, and she burned them over a candle to warm them up. Okay, you do you, dear.
Yeah, again,
When you're paying $19.50
I
a
mean,
minute,
this was at least cis sex, right? Like this was, pretty.
this was the
Pretty
least
standard
sex.
straight. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's not. It was, quote unquote deviant or like extreme, but it wasn't gay sex.
Right, it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
selling somebody else down the river. is
Seth
weird
Rogen
and
was just a
gross.
sad man paying
And if we recall,
$370.
Homelander and Stormfront fucked over like a guy they ripped apart on
It's
top
true.
of him.
It's also
Like,
true.
like, and
Yeah.
that was just hot though. I mean, shit.
His blood was like all over the two of them while they were fucking. That was gross. That was really
Was it?
gross.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Jeff.
Predictions for the
Yes,
next
yes.
episode.
Hey, Jeff, over on the side here. Do we think we can get rid of D?
Predictions for the next episode. What do you think?
So I have sort of a prediction.
Emotional damage.
Tons of that.
I sort of have a prediction for maybe not just the next episode, but moving forward in general. With this season, the bad guy is just Homelander. Like the first two seasons, it's kind of he is the bad guy, but they throw somebody else in to.
Well, it's Vought as a whole, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But like this seems like a more direct season of just like this is the guy.
This is the guy.
Do you think that this season, because they're not going to kill Homelander, I assume, because then what do you do after that?
You just
You have a clone of him.
you have a
yeah,
clone
you
of him,
could.
or you have other big bad superheroes that come out of the woodwork and.
Yeah, but that I don't know. That feels
Well, like
The-
I
the
said
clone
last,
I would-
like I said last season or last episode, and I think it
Kripke's
still
got a
tracks.
plan.
I think it still tracks. I think you get to a point where Soldier Boy probably shows how he's hate it, and that they're just gonna do this to you, like, and probably then has a talk with Huey, who also in the end is exactly like Homelander and is exactly like just like scared and wants people to love him. Like that's all.
Right.
Is in the end it's there. So if you get the right concoction of things, do you get a Homelander that turns a new leaf honestly and tries to change his ways, and that's his new keel, because everybody's just gonna be like, no, fuck you, like, and then gonna still stand in his way, and he's gonna, not have the patience to stick through it, but he's gonna keep trying to, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they could do it, where like maybe you do get a little sympathy for it, or you do take him through a thing where he does what happens when the person repents, right? Like when they want to go, and it's like you try to follow him, and a part of you might even want Homelander to be a good guy, like, because they'll probably also give you a new villain to hate, and you'll be like, well, maybe Homelander could, and it's just like you could get into that kind of storyline of like how people embrace people that they used to hate because they're like, well, he's my bastard now, or something like, and it's the same thing over again. So I think you could do that in a different way while also trying to keep him still alive and relevant, and not the same thing over and over again. That's my hope. I don't know, but that's a prediction at least.
My question on alternatively is, do you think that this is the season that is just to basically, because basically nothing has gone in there.
You could wipe the board with people.
I was going to say, is this the taking chess pieces off the board season?
This is what I don't know if you guys even got what I was trying to send you. I assumed that you never saw Supernatural.
I did not.
But
correct.
Supernatural is Kripke, and the first 5 seasons are his. He's like, this is my show, those 5 seasons. And in that story arc, at the end of the 3rd season, is the game-changing season. Like, I think his arc, this is the middle of the act, is where you get a total break. So, like, 2 things happen at that point. Like, Dean Winchester, the guy who's playing Soldier Boy, goes to hell, and the 4th season opens with essentially him coming back from hell, saved by an angel, the first angel we've seen in the series. Like, after you've seen demons and stuff like that. So like, which totally changed the dynamic of like possibility in the show, and like entered a whole nother mythology to it, and like. Yeah, and I think you could see really game-changing, wipe the board. Kripke has no problem killing long-time running characters who reappear.
I think if they're going to do it, the way the season's been going so far, I think it's almost exclusively going to be good guys.
I hope so.
The issue here is that this show's called The Boys, so in a way, the core 5, which includes the female, the Kimiko, like, they might be the safest of all.
Right.
And that's what I would usually say if it's the boys, because I think they have no problem killing off, like, the Maves, the Starlights, but I'm like, then you're just literally killing all the female characters on the show, and that's a problem, because you can't, so then you do kill a Frenchie, you do. And you do have that option to do. So I do think that's leaning more towards that. I think Jeff, you said last week that Frenchie's probably not long, and I'm like, I can see
No, he's
it.
definitely not long for this world.
See it.
They're giving them too many good things recently.
I mean, A-Train can't keep going, right?
I mean, even between the Kimiko shit and things going his way, and he's torn between following orders for Butcher or Nina and doing what he really wants to do, which is just run away to fucking France with Kimiko. And he keeps getting pulled back into this world, and now little Nina has a gun to his head, literally. So, I mean, I don't see Frenchie having a happy ending, especially not this season. I think things are gonna come crashing down for him, real fucking hard. And also, like,
or comes gonna crashing down.
I mean, I obviously I hope the best for him, but like, because he's definitely one of my favorite boys. But
and a real person,
and he's a real person. But yeah, it's just fucking oof. I've got a bad feeling about Frenchie.
All right, Han.
Yeah, but
I
that's
think he has the chances of him surviving are 8 billion to 1.
Oh, so that is it for episode 5.
No one's gonna say never tell me the odds. You guys are bad Star Wars fans.
No, I was very.
Empire. I was
very. I understood it at least.
Dumb.
I wanted to know the.
Anyway,
got it.
You tell us, what was your favorite part of the episode, True Believer?
True believers. Yeah, if you liked what you heard.
Or false prophet.
We will see you next week with Herogasm. If you liked what you heard, please leave us a kind review on your favorite podcasting platform. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe and all that shit.
Yeah.
I get it.
False. What is it?
False prophet.
The opposite of false prophet is a true believer.
Interesting. On that note, goodbye.
Yeah.
You don't seem with it, Jeff. You seem like a bit of a false prophet of this podcast.
I don't know if that's true. It's just
I'm pretty sure the False Prophets is a metal band.
yeah, they are.
So you're a metal band.
They just have like a
Burn Jeff at the stake.